4 hours event, right? That's where you were, Kim? You
I
were at the Business
was.
Before
I
Hours?
was at Business Before Hours at Hoffman Hamer and Associates, and the co-sponsor was Pantheon Computers. Beautiful building in downtown Faribault. Beautiful investment in our community. Huge crowd. It was really fun.
That's fantastic. And that happens
Once a month, on the first Wednesday of every month, we have a business that hosts a networking event, and we spend a little bit of time just understanding more about that business and helping the host eligible by fall to vote. So they were 17 and about to be 18 years old, both Faribault High School students, and they were just interested in the process. They had so many questions about, who's running against who and how does this work and what is, it was really fun to have that conversation and to see that additional interest that for some reason is sparked. Now, I've gone to caucuses before. I'm not a regular attendee. I don't go every year or every time, but this is a big difference in the number of people there. So something's out there. Maybe it's the number of candidates, maybe it's the personalities of the candidates, I'm not sure what, but it was great to see the participation.
Yeah, there's a lot of passion. And what I mentioned to a few of the people was, it's unfortunate, we always have bigger turnouts during presidential election years, and I say unfortunate because it's, our local people have more of an effect on our lives than the president does.
It's true, and yet sometimes on the caucus level there isn't a lot to decide. If there aren't multiple candidates that are seeking the endorsement, for example, then the caucus conversation tends to be more about political planks or resolutions, that kind of thing, and maybe people are more interested in the candidate part of it than the issue resolution part of it. I'm not sure why, but I think the healthy involvement certainly is beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, I'm with you, and there were youth. I went to both of them, of course, and there were youth at both. That was great to see.
Isn't that great? It's just wonderful. And I did stay and go to my precinct caucus, and the people that were there were all ages and all kinds of great debate, and really the spectrum of very, very conservative, even professed libertarians, to those that are much more middle of the road, lending toward liberal conservative types, if I can say it that way. But it was fun. It was a good exercise in grassroots participation, and now the next thing is the endorsing conventions in later in March, and I'm sure that we're all involved in some way or another, watching debates or being involved. That's one of the things that we're going to be working on in March at the Chamber, Gordy, is a committee of our membership will be working on the details of how we will work in the campaign process this year, identifying some candidates for local office, as well as providing vetting for the candidates in the form of either debates or videos or something like that.
I think we're going to see a gigantic voter turnout, judging from Kymn Anderson's with us. Grew up in Montgomery,
Minnesota, my hometown.
A former, what do they call it again, Kolachki Queen.
Yes, I am. That was great fun back in the day. Lots of fun.
When we go up there, and of course, I don't know, where they have those pictures now. They used to have their version of the chamber
has-beens, right?
Office. No, that's not what I mean. But that's no longer there. The building's there, but they have that. They don't have that anymore.
Right.
So that's where all the pictures were of all the past queens.
Right, and I think they're in various places now during the week-long celebration, and I still have family in Montgomery and New Prague, and that's still home territory for me.
You get up there much?
Fun. Oh, sure. Yeah, I have a sister in Montgomery and 2 sisters that live in New Prague,
well,
so
that's cool.
We spend a lot of time together.
That's great. You get the Frankies there and get some real Kolachkis.
Absolutely. There's a lot of great places like that, and every town has those treasures, right? I mean, we just appreciate those small businesses that really are the backbone of every community. Then you mention them and you know them, and it's so fun, like on that Facebook page about, you grew up in Faribault. I don't know if you ever look at that one, but it's so much fun to me to see the remember whens that people have about specific businesses that they participated in. And to me, it just goes to show how much business is the strength and backbone of the community. I mean, it seems obvious, but to some people it just isn't. The jobs they provide and the economic strength they provide in a community and it's just why I love this job. I just enjoy the heck out of it.
I get comments all the time about businesses I didn't even know existed that were here in Faribault. I've been here 30 years
from
almost.
Back in the day, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the downtown, since I've been here, the downtown has changed a lot.
Sure.
Now you have your Burkhart's, Myers,
right.
and the staples downtown.
But I think that that's not a bad thing.
No.
I mean, things do change. There's an expected turnover, and new ideas come about, and new products and services become necessary for people, and obviously many things have changed about the retail market. It's one of the focuses of our year this year, and next year too. We've made a commitment to focus some additional resources and attention on retail. The chair of our board is Joe Cullinan, and he's the store manager at Hy-Vee. And next year, our board chair for 2017 is Nate Shapee from Shapee Jewelry. So 2 years in a row, we have really distinct, very successful retail businesses in our community that are leading our chamber. And so we are involving our members in a little more effort around retail. We're going to strengthen our Shop Local program, which we love. It's really fun. People are engaged with that. It's the I Get It in Faribault. And we're going to strengthen that and try to engage people around the ideas of customer service and making sure that people really not only show excellent customer service, but recognize it and appreciate it and thank people for providing it. We're going to recognize some outstanding customer service that way. And then we're also looking at a number of initiatives that help retailers strengthen their marketing plan, as well as help them provide information to their frontline staff. So maybe this has never happened to you, Gordy, but do you ever go into a town and maybe stop for gas or stop at a place to eat and ask someone, well, what's this town known for? Or what do people do around here? You never know when that question might be somebody looking to relocate a business, or they might be looking to move their family, or maybe they're looking for a home to retire to. You just don't know where that question is from. Now, we want to make sure that people have the answer and that they have a great dynamic answer and materials and resources to give to people to share the things that we're so proud of about our community. So that's not an easy undertaking, and we're not exactly sure how it's going to all come together, but we feel like we've got some good partners in the conversation. Yesterday, Joe and I met with Bruce Newstead, who's the president of the Minnesota Retailers Association, and he shared with us some of the strategies that they're using with their membership to try to provide education and resources, and he was really enthusiastic about our plans, and I think we're going to be able to get some help from them to develop a plan to make sure that when somebody comes to Faribault and maybe they stop at a cafe, or maybe they stop at a gas station and say, hey, what's this town known for? Or what do people do around here? That they have a great answer.
Yeah. I was just trying to think, does our sign say that we're the home of tilt oil?
Probably not, no.
Faribault Woolen Mill?
And those are great examples of the kinds of things that it would be fun to make sure people know about, and yet there are so many more, and there's a lot of work being done, and you're going to talk to Nort more about this aspect of it, but I'll just hint on the idea that this tourism assessment that was done by the University of Minnesota and recently shared with the Tourism Commission has tremendous value. And we're going to see a lot of good work coming out of that assessment. So.
Is the We Are Faribault?
No, that was actually a theme developed for our gala, and we do that every year to try to give us a focus about the year and give us a few things that we can highlight with just a special flair. But thanks for the entree to that, because we do have some plans for We Are Faribault. Coming up, as you mentioned before the break, is our 25th annual Business Expo. And it's so fun to think about 25 years ago and what were we doing, in 1991, and Milo Larson at the Faribault Print Shop, and Steve Cole from Parker Cole Funeral Home, and Jay Treadway from Treadway Graphics were the 3 chamber ambassadors who probably 26 years ago said, hey, we should have an expo. And they put all the details together with the staff at that time and really kicked off this great and fun event that is now 25 years later, happens at the Ice Arena, and it's coming up on April 21st. So we've got a few things that we're excited about. Because so many of our members are telling us, and we hear it all around the community, about the difficulty of finding great employees, we have reinstituted the job fair as part of the Business Expo. So we know that businesses are looking for people, they're looking for a particular kind of person, and that job fair component we think will strengthen the number of participants in the expo as well as the number of folks that come to it. So we're excited about that. And like I said, it's at the Ice Arena on April 21st. And so if you're listening and thinking you'd like to be part of the expo and have a booth, all of that information is available on the Chamber website. We have also have kind of a special feature that we're going to employ this year at the expo using that We Are Faribault theme. And we're going to be capturing photos and videos of people. I mean, it isn't necessarily focused on who you work for or what business you own, but about the people of the community. The no matter where you work or what you do, what's your passion? What do you love about this town? What's something that you want people to know about you? And it's kind of just a way to help people get to know one another and maybe break down some barriers about differences in people and encourage people to just see the person in all of us. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be a kickoff of some fun things that we're going to be able to do to celebrate the great people of this town.
This will be played during the expo?
It actually will be developed during the expo. Okay. So we'll be gathering photos.
So maybe have a booth where people can go talk about why they love Faribault.
Yeah, or whatever they want to talk about, why they love knitting, or why they collect cars, or whatever it might be. That gives us a glimpse into the people that are here in our community and call this place home. I think it's kind of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
That's a Thursday, April 21st.
It is. It's from 2 to 7, and we just look forward to seeing a lot of people. I mentioned the job fair. We also have the community showcase. The community showcase is sponsored by the Faribault Foundation, and the Faribault Foundation is under new management. The new manager is Dee Bjork. Everybody knows Dee. She's just a lovely woman who has a lot of history in the community, and she's going to be adding her special flair to the community showcase this year. But just as a reminder, the showcase is sponsored by the Faribault Foundation, and it gives nonprofit organizations, churches, clubs, youth groups, that kind of entity, a way to be in the expo and get all the exposure of the expo and all the traffic, but at a fraction of the cost that the business booth's fee is. And the foundation does that in order to help all those organizations get more exposure and raise awareness for their worthy causes. So we want to thank the foundation. They've been doing this, I believe this is the 5th year that they have sponsored the showcase area and provided that opportunity. So again, listeners that are involved in clubs, churches, youth groups, organizations in the community, if you think you'd like to have a table in the community showcase part of the expo, give us a call and we can put you on that list, and it's $25.
Yeah, super idea. You're limited space-wise.
We are.
Arena.
And like every venue has its limits, and so I think we can be at about 70 business booths and about 30 community showcase booths, and so it gives a lot of opportunity for people to be involved And we're trying to figure out how we can maybe squeak in a little more exposure out in the lobby and do a few extra things like that. Our sponsor this year is Consolidated Communications, and so we want to make sure that we mention their name and thank them for their presenting sponsorship of the Business Expo in general. It's a chamber event, so we always have the ambassadors there, and there's a business after hours and prizes and fun, and it's a great event. Faribault Rental always helps us look good by bringing out the pipe and drape and the tables, and everything looks all jazzed up for the day.
25 years, wow.
Yeah. So what were you doing 25 years ago?
I was here.
Right. You had more hair.
A lot more hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 25 years ago, I mean, you know, actually I have to admit that as I was thinking about it, I was thinking, well, you know, back to the 80s. No, 90s. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah.
But we are encouraging people to think about the theme somehow. You know, the 25th anniversary, maybe use some, you know, increments of 25 or you know, a game that has to do with 25. And, you know, maybe there's people that have pictures of themselves from 1991 and they want to make that comparison from today to then. I don't know if I want to do that, but
that's a quarter century.
Well, and when you put it that way, it really makes me feel old. But so it goes. It's 25
by
great
for me.
years.
I don't know about you.
It does fly by, and it's 25 great years of celebrating business really, and promoting the idea of the Business Expo. So we encourage local businesses. They always have first opportunity to be part of the expo, and we have quite a bit of requests from other businesses that want to be part of it, but we hold them at bay for a while and make sure our local businesses have the first chance to be in it. And we're really excited about it. And I know that when you invite me back in April, we'll talk a little more, and we'll bring a few people that are part of the expo to talk about why they are and how that works for them, and it should be really fun again this year.
Yeah. Well, it's been quite an event.
Right, yeah, and you've been there probably every year.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a lot of fun.
We appreciate the radio station's involvement. You're always there to do interviews and participate in the whatever crazy scheme we've come up with any given year.
Some years when it was down at the Legion, I remember doing some announcing.
Yeah, it's
or
actually
PA kind of thing.
Oh, sure.
You know, the door prizes announcing, that sort of thing.
Right. The ice arena makes it it's a little the venue makes it a little tough to do a lot of arena type announcements, but we do that as well, so it'd be a lot of fun.
Always is.
You know, that's kind of a focus that we have right now, is getting ready for our Business Expo, but a lot of other things on the horizon. This is the perfect time of the year for people to be thinking about the Business of the Year event. So May is Small Business Month as well as Tourism Month. So I'm going to let Nort talk about tourism, but in the effort to discuss small business, we always host our Business Awards luncheon in May. And we have the Business of the Year and then a Small Business of the Year. We do that, and we really use small businesses because we have so many in our community that are wonderful. We want to make sure they get a chance to celebrate. And our membership is made up of about 90% of our members have, you know, just 5 or fewer employees. So it's a large part of our membership, and we want to recognize that. So we have a Business of the Year, Small Business of the Year, and then a New Business Spotlight. And that's for a business that has been in town less than 2 years. So if you're thinking, oh, I know a business that should be honored, or I wonder if they've ever thought about nominating my, you know, where my brother works or whatever, please check our website and nominate. Anybody can nominate. It's a very, very simple nomination process where you just don't have to know a lot of details. You don't have to, you know you really don't have to know much at all. You just have to tell a few sentences about why you think a certain business should be recognized as either Business of the Year, Small Business of the Year, or the New Business Spotlight. nominations are taken, and then they're saved for a number of years. So if the particular business that you nominate doesn't get chosen by our committee, then they'll stay on the file for future years. But it's another great event. We have a great opportunity to hear the stories. You know, we talked about that a little while ago, but everybody's got a story. How do they end up in business? Like today, we were at Hoffman Hamer, and they happened to be our business of the year for 2015. So Jason Hoffman talks about how he came to town and the transition he made and developing his own business, and 10 years later he has this beautiful investment that he's made in the community, and a number of employees and several attorneys that work with him, and has a partner now in John Hamer. And you know, those are great stories to hear. They're inspiring and they're encouraging, and it reminds us that there's a lot of good news here.
For sure.
So what else do you want to talk about? We talked a little bit about the retail stuff. I'm excited about that, and I hope that I can bring Joe and possibly Nate with me to talk about the retail information when we get a little more settled in exactly how that's going to roll out. But I think it's really exciting, and you know what, I would encourage people to take a look at our Facebook pages. Now, I know there might be some listeners who are like, I don't do Facebook, but I'm a grandma and I do Facebook, and I know a lot of people my age and older that do. So take a look at the Chamber Facebook page, the Shop Local Facebook page, which is I Get It in Faribault, and you just don't know what you might see there, especially the Shop Local page. It's open to everybody. You don't have to be a member. There's no engagement about membership. It's just a way to promote and talk about small businesses and let businesses share some of the things they're planning and working on, and we hope to strengthen that in the next year or two, and it's already pretty darn good. So you can get anything in Faribault. That's the focus of our I Get It in Faribault. And it also has that second meaning, Gordy, of I understand the importance of supporting these local businesses. I get it. I understand that if we want to have a dynamic economy and retail economy in this community, we have to support the businesses that are here. The small retail, the large retail, the restaurants, the chains, they all are part of the equation, and we want to make sure that we continue to have this great offering that we have.
We do have it all right here in Faribault.
We have a lot. We have a lot. And there's nothing wrong with saying that we have a lot of good things in our neighboring communities too. And so as a region, we can be proud of what we have and work together on things.
Well, we'll probably touch on this with Nort. I think we did last time he was on. I was at a county board meeting not too long ago. They were talking about that regional economic development, which is a good move, I think.
It is. It's really important because no community is an island, and larger employees all draw their employees from a region. They don't look at there's no barrier, and there's no to go from one community to the next. So yeah, I think that's a very smart move, and I think in a way it's being led by the prospects, because they tell us that they're looking at the region, and so we want to make sure that we're paying attention to that.
Get to pool your resources and be smarter, more efficient.
Right, and tell a bigger story, frankly, as well. But there's a lot of good things that are going on in the community, and we're just really pleased to be able to represent Faribault through the chamber and be doing the work that we do.
How many members now?
We have about 455 members. That represents about 10,000 people employed at those companies. We're working always on adding new members and making sure that we extend that invitation to new people. We have a very small staff, and right now we're even smaller with a few changes and a couple medical leaves that we're managing. So if we missed you, if you're listening out there and you're thinking nobody's ever invited me to be a member, well, consider this your invitation. You are invited, and we'd love to have you join. And I would be honored to share with you the work that we do in a variety of things.
Even if you don't have a storefront, right? If you're working out of your home.
Yes, absolutely, right. In fact, One of the things that I should mention is we have a lot of help for small businesses. It's not just the promotion and the membership and the committees. It's really hands-on help. We fund and partner with the SBA, and we're the home of the Small Business Development Center. This is free, absolutely free and confidential to everyone in the county, where you can access free and confidential help, whether it would be about QuickBooks, about hiring, about social media, about
marketing plan.
A marketing plan, or maybe you're at that stage where your business has been in your basement and you're ready for it to come out of the basement, or maybe you woke up this morning with an idea that you just really want to talk to somebody about regarding a business development. Call us at the chamber, and we will set you up with a counselor to talk to you about that, free and confidential.
Sounds terrific. Thanks, Kym, for stopping in. I know you're busy this morning.
Always happy to be here, Gordy. Thanks for having us.
You bet. Kym Anderson is the president of Faribault Area Chamber of Commerce, and you can always pop out and see them here in Faribault too. Tomorrow, I don't have a show on here, but Rice County Farm Bureau will be